Hey everyone, it's Tuesday night again. You know what that means, don't you? It's time to join Mike and Kristie for another episode of Where's My Sage? A show hosted by a psychic medium and a guy on a quest to find Bigfoot. Who would have thought? Together, they will take you on all sorts of adventures, and not with lots of different people. Kristie even gives readings. It's time to sit back, get up and get ready. You can't sample the universe sitting down. Your hosts are waiting. Come on, let's go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where's My Sage, a taste of the universe. I'm Mike with my co-host, Kristie London. Kristie, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah. How's everybody out there? Hello, Melissa.
We're doing, let's see, we got folks coming in. So,
she called us darlings.
I know.
That. That's not a term you hear very often.
She already told us she was here ahead of time. So,
wow. Well, we appreciate your dedication. Thank you. I wasn't even here that early.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Tim.
Yeah. Tim coming in. So we got the UFO gang. So what's new and exciting up in the falls? Anything new and crazy up there?
We're going to get another ice storm. That'll be fun. I think it's supposed to come in like tomorrow night into like Thursday. I'm over it. It is what it is.
4 o'clock tomorrow till 6 o'clock on Thursday. Should be lots of fun driving around. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess your area and mine is clocked for about the same with that. So that'll, Bree's got rehearsals and everything else after school. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know.
Yep.
Did the work? Did the gym thing? Did the picking the kid up from the rehearsal thing? I'm here. So awesome. Yeah. How about you?
I've been farting around with that new thermal camera and just trying to get that set. We got it out in the woods the other day and did some driving around, trying to find some stuff. So skunks everywhere. We can't figure this one out. I have never seen so many skunks, but
so that's why you asked me to look up skunk.
Well, literally, that was that night we went out. We went out Saturday night and then again all day on Sunday and then all day on Monday. It was like literally I've never seen so many skunks in our area. So thank you. So nice. I might change a background here and I got something on my camera. So yeah, it's been busy trying to get it set because I'm going to try to get out with Culls and Kenny Irish and see what those guys are doing. They got an event over near Albany this weekend. So if the weather's not too bad, I'm going to try to swing over for that Bigfoot thing. If it's junky there,
swing over to Albany. For Rochester, no big deal. We're going to swing right over there. It's like a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive, something like that. Yeah, just swing right on over there. What?
Well, Melissa says there's a couple of guys.
Drive. I can tell you that right now because you certainly don't drive where you can swing anywhere. I do, but you don't.
No, I know how to follow the speed limit. Something about yeah.
Little Miss Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah. It's more explaining to the boss that you did something wrong. So I do.
Yeah, but isn't it called a professional courtesy?
Yeah, not anymore.
Where is that? I mean, come on.
So folks, hi, hello. So please like, share, subscribe, hit those buttons. We've got some guests tonight. So yeah, we got some events coming up. You got some events coming up. I've got a couple coming up. We'll be hitting some swamps with Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot and hopefully with my thermal guy if he doesn't get too angry because the first 2 units I had issues with. So
he's angry. Shouldn't that be the other way around? I mean,
So, but
and I have an event coming up in April that we need to start telling people about too. It's called Psychic in the Valley. It's in Gowanda.
No, not that one.
But it's going to be a lot of people. And actually, April, the psychic housewife from New Jersey is going to be there.
April's going to be there?
Brian, yes, April's going to be there. Brian and Rochelle are going to be there. I cannot wait to finally meet them in person. Yes, I can't wait to see April again. I love her to death. Who else? There's going to be a whole bunch of people there. I'm doing a gallery reading there that day. I'll probably have a table too. But yeah, so that's another one coming up in April. But actually, so that'll make 2 events for me in April. My first one's going to be, oh no, that is the first one, because that's going to be, I think, the 15th. And then, I know, listen, it's been a long freaking day. Give me a break. But yeah, I got the Banshee first, and then
this one.
That
one. Yes.
That's mine.
One.
Yes. That's just me. Yes. Yeah. So tickets are still on sale. You can do that. That's in downtown Buffalo.
Cool location. It's a really, really cool location.
Yeah, it is.
Got that whole historic, they got some really interesting architecture in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, we did a psychic fair there, and actually Rob was there. We were both doing it that day at the Banshee Irish Pub. So it was really cool. It's a neat place. The food, fantastic. Oh my God, I did takeout to go home and relax afterwards. Oh my God, the food was amazing. Connor, way to go on that. Oh, for sure. So, yeah, nothing else.
No, like I said, just busy. Ryan Reading from Western New York Bigfoot put a nice little video out that I probably should put a link in there. And that goes to UV. Yeah. So there's a professor at NC State that's getting ready to do a DNA project with, unknown hair. And Brian did a nice little video, or Ryan did a little video on that. You can see us. We took Kristie out with our first Bigfoot event with Ryan. Over in Chautauqua.
Yes, that was extremely eventful for me.
Yeah, left her in the woods.
No big deal.
But Ryan, I did a nice little review on the pink hair project with the UV. So hopefully we're gonna get some more samples and rock some of that stuff out. So we he did a nice little tie-in with both the projects, and the Darby, the professors in charge of things.
Okay.
Very cool. Got some other interesting scientific stuff coming up with some other folks coming soon. So
nice, very nice.
All right.
Think we should pull our first guest up here?
I think we should, because
we have a lot of cool people tonight to share the show with. Yeah, this is going to be great. So you guys, we're going to be talking about the Pawtographs for Pooches, or the Pawtographs Parafest number 4 in Michigan. That's coming up in 2 weeks. I can't believe it. Got to get my craft together and start getting ready for that. So Tim, the last time he was on our show, we learned how to pronounce his last name. Because we always called him Male, right? Because phonetically, that's how it's spelled. So, yep. And how long did we were calling him that for forever. And then finally, he was nice enough to correct us like a year and a half later. So Tim Miley is the founder of Fox City's paranormal team in Michigan. He is also, he has a wonderful story, and he is the founder and creator of the Pawtographs. So let's welcome Tim onto the show.
Tim, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. All right, I just want to make sure. How you doing, sir?
I'm better now. I after that big buildup, I was really hoping you were going to pronounce it wrong again.
That's Mike's.
That's my job.
One correction: Fox City Paranormal Team. Unfortunately, I'm in Wisconsin, and
I apologize. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Opa, he's in Wisconsin.
Wait a
minute.
That explains a lot right there, because I can't pronounce Jay's last name. I butchered that. So with Tim, we know they do events together. That's why I have my big TV up here for those.
I couldn't pronounce Jay's last name either, and then I finally got it right for the event.
Okay, but in my defense, I'm going to say any association I've ever had with you has been Michigan.
It has been.
That's it. All your Pawtographs, all the Michigan Paracon, it's all been Michigan.
Yeah, I do a lot in Michigan because mostly Wisconsin sucks.
Okay. Listen said she never messes up her name because of the episode.
But I mean, the last time I was on the show, we talked a lot about the fact that you stalked me at going to the bathroom at Michigan Paracon.
Does that? I think half our guests tonight.
Yeah. And scared the hell out of me. But hey, we became friends after that. So we'll see each other here.
It was Deb that I caught outside the ladies' room. Don't take her. You can't steal her thunder.
Well,
I caught you coming in.
I was on my way to the bathroom, and that's when.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. We were just
Yeah.
walking in. But the look of sheer terror and horror on your face when I called you out and said hello to you, and you were like, "What the hell?"
Because I kind of like it when people don't know who I am. So like when I go to an event and like everybody there is, everybody there knows me, that still is kind of strange for me. But I guess at some point I will probably have to get used to that.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, such is the life of a famous man. I can't help but make fun of myself. But yeah, thank you for having me on. Thanks for having all of us on here. Then the rest of us are going to be on here in a little bit. And thank you for being a part of Pawtograph's Parafest 4.
Oh, thanks for having me. I am super excited. Cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Yes. So tell us how was it born? Tell us your story. How did this all come about?
So everybody grab the tissues, and I'll get into it. I'll try to keep it a little brief because I know we got other people coming on, and I don't want to take up all their time too. But it really starts in 2006. I had purchased the home that I'm in now, and I always wanted a dog, and I ended up here by myself, and that was part of the reason that I was really having some personal issues. Just things weren't real great for me at the time, and I was suffering from what I would later realize was depression. At the time I thought it was just sad. Coming out of a relationship, not my idea. Having a house to pay for by myself, not my idea. And but I tried to make the best of it, and I knew coming into this house that I wanted to get a dog. I'd always wanted a dog of my own, and I'd lived in apartments and duplexes, and it just wasn't a possibility up until I got this home. I went online and looked for a yellow lab. That's what I had my eyes on, and I ended up finding a lab pit bull mix. Looked like a small little yellow lab, and his story was that he was beaten so badly that they rescued him from the home. The shelter had gone in and taken him because somebody had reported it. And when I initially called, they wouldn't let me come see him because he didn't like men. That's what I was told. And I always say this tongue in cheek, but I told them famously, I'm not a normal man. And finally gave and let me come and see him. And they sat me down in a room, and I got down on a knee. Still talking or not?
Okay. Oh, there we go.
So
you got down on a knee.
Yeah. They sat me in a room, and I got down on a knee, and they opened up this door, and all I can say was it was like a room full of kennels, and it seemed to go on forever. And the volunteer walked down and unlocked the kennel that at the time Stryker was in. That was his name. And he came out and he went the wrong way. And I always joke that if you knew Murray, he never really did anything right the first time. So that was classic Murray. And as soon as they turned him around, though, he saw me and he broke into a full sprint and jumped into my arms. And it was love at first sight. That was my dude. And they let me take him outside, and I played with him for like an hour. And it was just an instant connection. It was time to go, and of course I couldn't adopt him that day. They wouldn't let me take him home. So when I left, he was still outside, and I remember the vision of him just looking at me as he was up against the fence, just like, what did I do wrong? And it was so sad. And it was a 45-minute drive home, and I cried the entire time. 2 weeks later, I finally got to go get him, and I'll never forget the excitement he had when he got into the car and just going from side to side and taking everything in and watching everything, and got him home. And a part of the story I didn't tell is I was experiencing paranormal activity in the home, in my new home, voices, footsteps, arguments in my bedroom closet. And at the age of 31, something I'd never dealt with before. I brought Murray into the home, and he instantly followed what I was hearing. And for the first time in about a month, I didn't feel crazy. That gave me my sanity back, because another living creature was following what I was hearing. He and I, we were best buddies from the beginning, and I was still battling everything that I was battling. And I remember so many nights where I would cry myself to sleep on the floor, and I couldn't explain it. And I didn't talk to anybody about it at the time, because back in 2006, guys didn't talk about this stuff. You just kind of dealt with it. And then one night in January 2007, I sat in my bathroom with the largest knife I had in the house. And I went through each person in my life one by one and came up with a reason why it would be okay if I wasn't here anymore, why it'd be better if I wasn't here. And as I was about to do the unthinkable, I felt something on my left arm. And I looked down and it was Murray's chin. And the first thought that crossed my mind was, what happens to him if I do this? Like, he's finally found happiness. And I couldn't do that to him. And I crumpled to the floor. And that night, he saved my life. It's one of those things where if he wouldn't have been there to snap me out of it, I know I wouldn't be here anymore. There's not a rational thought in your head when you're going through this stuff. And I thank God every day that somebody sent me him. We, like I said, we're best friends, but from that moment on, we were father and son. There was no dog. There was no owner. Every day I would lean down and I would pick up his ear and whisper, "Thank you." I've never loved anything in my life more than him. I've never been closer to anything in my life than him. And, he's my reason for still being here. But 2012 into 2013, some things happened for me within the paranormal field. I was getting some opportunities. I had filmed for Paranormal Witness, and the word kind of got out, and I started to get opportunities and offers to come in and speak at events. And along with that comes a table. And I didn't have anything at that table. At the time I was married, and I was married to a photographer. So the idea was, let's take photos of Murray and I, and we'll have Murray Pawtograph them. And we have a stamp. I still have the stamp to this day. That's the original one. And Murray would stamp the photos, and you can see them actually over my shoulder here. Some of the original ones. And I would, personalize them. We'd sell them for $10. And the first event we did, we sold one and we raised $10. It was pretty humbling. But eventually it would start to grow. And the first event that really got behind it was Little Traverse Bay Parafest, and John Cassidy and Jackie Cassidy. And they started to actually advertise that I was going to be there raising money for Northern Michigan Animal Rescue Network. And that was a big part of it for me too, is we had to raise money for a shelter in the area of the event. Because if it's local, it means more to the people there. I could go and raise money for the event or for the shelter in my hometown everywhere I go. And people would kind of be like, well, why did we want to do that? So it was important for that aspect of it also. But so it started to grow, it started to build. And then John actually asked me, he's like, we should do an exclusive event where all of the ticket sales go to the shelter. And I remember telling John, because he wanted it just to be him and I. And I said, I don't think anybody's going to buy a ticket to come see you and I, John. And we were wrong. We oversold the building. And the first exclusive event, we raised $741. Fast forward to last September, and we went over $100,000 total. Wow. Since 2013. And
that's amazing.
I'm going to warn people, because we're going to celebrate in Ann Arbor, because I really didn't celebrate it. I was just kind of numb, and I didn't know what to think. And I remember thinking to myself, well, what now? It's like we got to this point and it was everybody's goal and we accomplished it. And now what? In October of 2019, Murray passed away in my arms. He actually had a stroke at home and then went into a grand mal seizure And I carried him to the car, and we got to the vet's office, and they got him to the point where he was calm. And I got to tell him everything I wanted. 13 of the most fantastic years of my life. And I remember telling him that he needed to go find my dad. He needed to go find Grandpa. And that he had to let me know he was okay. Otherwise, I was coming to look for him. And that's just how it sounds. I didn't want to be here without him, and I certainly didn't want to think that he was alone. So he needed to let me know. And that night was the most ridiculously bad night of my life. I have never felt that kind of emotional pain. I woke up the next morning to 5 messages from 5 mediums, and every message started with the same sentence. Murray needs his dad to know that he's okay. And he kept up the bargain. So that's why I'm here. That's why I still push forward. That's why I deal with the stress of these events. And eventually I smile and I hug everybody and I tell them how much I love them, because they have made my dream of creating a legacy for Murray come true. And that's the biggest part about Pawtographs that people need to understand. These events aren't about me. They're about Murray. They always are. His face is all over everything. And it always will be. He's been gone for 3.5 years now. And it's still the greatest pain I've ever gone through in my life. And that's no disrespect to my father, because I lost my father very young too. But like I said earlier, I've never loved anything like I loved Murray. And, the paranormal field wrapped their arms around this whole entire thing and they wouldn't let it fail. And we got to this point now, and there are fantastic people that give their time to this event. And just kind of gave me a purpose in life. And here we are. I mean, we get to go, and when we do the event next week, Friday, we get to go and hang out at the shelter and see the people and the pets that we're raising money for. The last time I was in that area, there was a dog there that had been there for almost a year. And I took some photos with her. And her name is Zyra, I think. And she was a pit. And I posted her all over my social media. And within 2 weeks, she had a home.
Awesome.
And that, that right there too is Murray's legacy, because we had a hand in finding that dog a home. So I'm insanely proud of what we've accomplished. It's a community effort. It's a group effort. And Kristie, I can't wait for you to get there and experience it and feel it, because it's unlike any event that you've ever been to. It really is.
I can't wait. It's amazing. And the friend that's coming with me to help me with everything, she's amazing, and she's going to fit right in. So I know she too is going to take a lot from it and have a lot to offer. So it's going to be awesome. How can it not be?
She's got some skills. So.
And B's got game. We'll just say that. Yeah. Wow. That's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing it with the world.
It
takes a lot.
I'm glad you said that. I posted a picture of Ray, Daisy, and Bo last night. And I said, these 3 are my world. And somebody commented and said, they're kind of our world too, because you've shared them all with us. Mm-hmm. And I've shared Murray with the world, and I couldn't be more proud of that. But there are some times when I kind of want to kind of wrap him in my arms, because before he was everybody else's, he was mine. Right. And just the best friend and the best son a guy could ever have. And if I ever tell this story and I don't choke up and I don't start crying, then it's probably time for me to start finding something else to do. But I guarantee you, go back and listen to any interview I've ever done. The last 40 minutes of the interview, I'm just sniffling the entire time. So,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay.
My whole other room on the other side of my wall here that's all of my Great Danes that we showed and, used for therapy and everything like that. That's my dog room. Those are my crazies are here. The other two usually behind me in the podcast here. So they're in the other room tonight so we can talk. If not, Vito will be sitting on my lap and I won't be able to touch any keys. She's still recovering from knee surgery, so she'd be definitely laid across my front here. So, but yeah, brother, I appreciate what you're doing there.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I did put the link for your website in there, and I also wanted to put in there, folks, to remember 998. If you're in the U.S., is that suicide crisis lifeline as well? Please.
Is it 998 or 988, Mike?
988.
Okay, because you have that's because I wanted to make sure it was accurate.
I went.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and copied it right from the net. So
awesome. Okay.
So we got some awesome folks coming in.
We do. So tell us about the events. So when you put together these events, and what's your goal with these events now? As far as like the people and the events within the event that you have going on, and all the different activities and things that.
Well, this is the biggest event we've ever attempted, and quite honestly,
that's not intimidating at all.
The stress that goes with doing this. I'm naturally just a worrier. I want everything to work out the best it can. And when we decided to do the event here and go big or go home, the first person I called was John Zaffis. And I've known John for about a dozen years. And I've always considered John a friend. And when I called him and he picked up the phone, first of all, I said, I can't believe you answered the phone. and secondly, I said, and I remember because it was emotional because I do look up to John. I asked him, I said, I think it's about time we have you involved with Pawtographs because Murray needs a godfather.
Oh.
And John instantly said yes. And I actually talked to him about a week and a half ago. And, he's just, he's a wealth of knowledge and, he's a good friend. He's also a grumpy old man. I think that's why we get along.
Well, that's probably why him and Tim Shaw get along so well then too, right?
As I get older, I am a grumpy old man myself.
Oh, whatever.
I'm grumpy all the time, so don't worry about it.
I mean, we got John Zaffis coming in. Dustin Perry's been a staple.
He's another wonderful person. Yeah.
There's a lot of first timers. Rob's going to be on the show here in a little bit. He's a first timer. Kristie, you're a first timer.
Yeah.
If I try to go through everybody, I'm going to forget somebody, so I don't want to do that. But we've got some fantastic, wonderful, excellent people that are going to be there. And
so you have talks. You're going to have lectures.
There's a lecture room and a gallery room.
Okay.
The other lady that's going to be on here in a second is Deb DeRue, and she's doing a gallery reading, as are you. Just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to raise money for the Humane Society of Huron Valley. And the reason we picked them is because Tim Woolworth lives in the area. That's where he adopted his puppy from.
Oh.
And I got a chance to tour, like I said earlier, that building, and just excellent, excellent people. And the dogs that are in their care are well taken care of. And just came away very, very impressed and wanted to help them. So that was the reason we came to Ann Arbor. Also, selfishly, if you look behind me, that's the big house. That's Michigan Stadium. I am going to drop by there on Thursday and knock on the door and see if they'll let me come in. But it's at the end of the weekend, there will be a sense of relief because this is the biggest event I've ever tried to do. And there is a lot of stress that goes into it. But also at the end of the weekend, I think we're going to have a good number for the shelter. And I think there'll be a lot of pride there. and I hope to keep the bar open because I'll have to kind of relax and let loose a little bit. I'm not a huge drinker, but I got a feeling I'm going to need a couple after this weekend or after next weekend.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right.
Awesome.
So what do you think? So the two people we have backstage ready to come on. Sorry guys, you know how my voice gets when, whenever I need to go live, when I'm not, it's fine. But they're wonderful. Dan Class is also somebody that was going to be joining us. Unfortunately, he may or may not pop on here. He is actually filming or doing something with a show, and their times got changed, so he is obligated to that. So we're hoping that he'll pop on. But we do have Deb and we do have Rob here. So Deb DeRue is a medium researcher. She's also the owner and founder of Mystical Awakenings Radio. And she's just an all-around awesome lady and just an amazing person. So then we have the spirit medium, Mr. Rob Thompson, and he is the producer of the Ghost Finders. So please welcome our special guests.
All right, I'm bringing everybody up. 1, 2, there we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm better now. Thank you for letting me get through the crying before bringing me on.
Totally.
I appreciate that.
I think I even saw Rob over there wiping his eyes.
I was wiping my eyes. I'll tell you what, I don't know how many times I've heard that story, and there's no vaccination for it because I was just literally to the point of bawling, and I had to go and leave and just wipe my eyes because I just want to hug you to bits right now, Tim. I mean, you're just such an amazing human being, and I don't think there's anybody on earth that knows or has met you or has heard of you that would disagree with me. And so thank you, for making my eyes look like an albino jackrabbit. I really appreciate that.
It's kind of my thing.
I'm using all these floodlights so I don't have to cry tonight. So keep my eyes open.
Oh my gosh. So, Deb is a veteran, and like Tim was saying, Rob, you and I are the rookies here with this particular event. So it doesn't matter to me who goes first, who wants to talk about, we want to know about you, what you do, what you offer, and why you are, or have been a part of this event and why it's so important.
Well, there was like a vacuous silence, so it was just like, go on then, Rob, go on. And well, I met Tim last October, was it? No, October before last. My God, where did 2 years go? Yeah, a couple years ago.
October 2021 at DeadCon, I think.
At DeadCon, yes. And I just you meet some people and you immediately just get. I don't think you have to be an empath or a psychic. It's just people like Tim that you just are drawn to because they have good positive energy. And we just got chatting, and he was just like, Rob, I absolutely love your show. Can I buy every T-shirt in every size you've got? No, that didn't happen. But when I found out, he told me about the charity and about what he'd been doing, it was just right off. I was just like, man, there's someone to ethically and morally aspire to, it just truly. And then I got to know him, and I didn't think that much, but I'm just kidding. But he and I, chatted some, and we've talked back and forth a few times since, and I'm going to be having him on the show on season 12, because, well, he's Tim Miley. Sorry, Tim. I will now pronounce your name correctly, and it's easy. It's easy. I just have to think. Flowers, Miley.
Yes,
Miley Flowers. That number one. But but for me, it's been quite a journey. I only came out as a medium about 5 years ago. And for all my life, I pushed it way out, out there. I was raised in the UK in rural England, little village, lot of bullying going on, so it was the last thing that I was going to do was say, oh, would you like some more fuel for that fire? By the way, I talk to dead people, that wasn't going to be a good plan. So I literally just pushed it out of my I denied it, if you will. And that was tough because I grew up in a 200-year-old manor house in rural England and just met some rather interesting people, you could say, that are no longer of this plane. Fast forward, I moved to Europe, moved to the States 25 years ago, and gradually started incorporating it into what was then the show, really only 5 seasons in, because I just didn't have the guts. I didn't have the guts to do. I mean, a friend of mine called me up, Derek Akora, God rest his soul, and he said, Rob, put your big boy pants on. This is about more than your ego. All right. If you're worried about what people think, number one, you're in the wrong business. For television, forget it, grow a big, grow a set. So I grew a set, I came out, and I've been, over the last couple of years, I've been studying with Diet Renee, who has been is a fantastic mediumship master teacher, who studied under Lisa Williams at Lilydale. And it's just really been an extraordinary beginning on a journey that has me so humbled to meet some of the most extraordinarily talented people, not just in the paranormal, paraspiritual, metaphysical, but to be part of this community of deeply caring people, individuals, sort of part of this big, huge family, is just really humbling experience. And Tim is just the shining example of everything that encapsulates those values.
I couldn't agree more, Robert. I couldn't agree more.
So welcome, Daniel Class.
You missed this voice, didn't you, Robert? You missed this voice.
It shows up like a bad penny every time.
Hi, Dan.
Oh,
Hey, everybody.
How
Dan.
are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Busy filming, but we're on time actually, which is great.
Oh, awesome. So
Usually,
for those of you who
we're
don't
on.
know, we're going to give Dan a quick introduction. So Dan is the owner and operator of the Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. And he is also working with Rob on Ghost Finders.
It's not work, it's fun. I
Well, there you go.
I enjoy what we do.
Awesome. That's all that matters, right? That's the most important thing. That's wonderful. So, and Dan is also a veteran. So
I'm not a veteran in the Army or anything like that, in the paranormal field. Make sure that
yes. Sorry. Yes.
people,
We'll
like,
clear
sending
that
me,
out.
like,
Yes.
things
Yeah.
in the mail, stuff like
He's
that.
a veteran paranormal investigator.
A veteran
Yes.
a veteran of Pawtograph's events.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. There you go.
Yes, for sure. And I know you have very limited time, so I'm going to let you go next. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about what you do and how you got to know Tim and why, doing the event is so important to you.
I mean, Tim's message. I met Tim at an event in Michigan, and we clicked. And after hearing him speak about his dog and everything that he's been through in his life, you can't help but feel touched by that. You can't help. I mean, if you sit down and listen to Tim talk, and you leave that arena, because it feels like it's an arena, but if you leave that talk not feeling, just having pulling your heartstring, then there must be something wrong with you. And of course, like we all have animals, we all have, cats, dogs, different types of pets and things like that. And, we all know they're part of our families. And it's such an important, I've rescued 2 dogs, and I just got a new puppy. I just love him to death, a golden doodle.
Super cute. Oh my God.
He's my buddy. But yeah, I mean, it's the cause is great, to help all these animals out. I mean, what's your total up to, Tim, so far?
We're like 100,006.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So to keep carrying this on and to continue, the legacy for him and help with whatever we can help with is important to me. We've been through so much, done so much, and when you have a chance to give back, you jump at that occasion to do it.
I'd like to point out, I've had the chance to do 2 Pawtographs events at Hinsdale House, and the last event we did, Dan was there with us, and I got to tell my story around the fire pit, and for a lot of people, it was their first time hearing it, and I remember Dan looking at me and going, "Damn it, I gotta hug you." And, it was. But it's folks like Dan that he never charged me a dime for Hinsdale House to do the event. I think that's important for people to know. Dan has been a friend of the charity for quite some time now, and I consider Dan a very, very good friend, and just thankful for everything he's done for me and for Pawtographs and for Murray.
Likewise. Plus, we all have a love for wrestling too, and
yes,
we have a lot. Tim and I have a lot to talk about when we're together. It's like we haven't seen each other for a few months, but when we get together, it's like we just saw each other yesterday. That's the type of friendship we have, and there's so much to talk about and so much to catch up on, and it's just fun. His events are fun. Being with Tim is fun, and I think this event that we're doing is going to be amazing. It's going to be look at the people that are going to be there. How can you not want to be there? It's going to be so much fun, so much. There you go. Look at that. Unbelievable. Murray's going to be there in heart.
Yes. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Spirit will be strong.
So we're gonna do whatever we can do at that event to make as much money as we can for this charity. Whatever it takes.
I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be shaving my legs, and I will be out there on the street corner if I have to.
That ought to bank us an extra 2 cents.
I'd love to bring in about $1.50.
Probably less than that, Rob.
Thanks.
It's thought that counts, though.
Dad, am I in trouble? Am I going to be in trouble when I get there?
I'll protect you, Kristie.
There have been a few events where I have said, "Hey, I'll wear these dog leggings if we get to enough money." I'll have to do something where if we get to a certain dollar amount, I'll put those dog leggings back on. There's pugs in all the right places, if you know what
I mean. So we've got a question from our audience. If you can't join the event, is there a way to donate to the cause?
If you go to pawtographsforpooches.com, there's a donate button right on the homepage there, and any little bit helps, and we'll be thankful for anything you can do. And thank you so much for asking.
Thank you, Ivana. Love you.
I'll put that link in 1 second.
Yes, that's amazing. That's awesome. All right, Miss Deb.
Oh, wow. Where do I begin? I want to say first off, I love you, Tim Miley.
I love you too.
And I love you guys too. Rob, it's nice to meet you. Dan, it's good to see you again. Kristie and Mike, you guys rock. Thanks for doing this. I met Tim, I think, in 2015 at a Little Traverse Bay Parafest. We didn't click right away. He was quiet.
That's code for she hated me.
No, it was like, I had the sense because Tim was a little insecure at that time. I thought it was ego, but it wasn't. It was Tim being insecure. But he walked by my table and set down a Reese's peanut butter cup. And that's my favorite candy in the world. So from that moment on,
Score.
he's been my best bud. But so I met him at that event, and then I went back in 2016, and I actually heard him speak. I was too busy in 15 to hear him speak, but when he spoke, see, it's hard for me to even talk when I talk about it. I lost it. I lost it because I have never seen a man so loving with animals and so willing to give of himself for the betterment of all of these fur babies who need us, who need help. And he and Murray teamed up and started doing these events, and I was floored. So in 2017 was the first year that I actually spoke at one of the Pawtographs events, and I've been there ever since, and totally in love with the event, totally in love with what Tim and Murray do. And Murray is not past tense. He reminds me often if I say the word was when I talk about him, I get scolded. He is still very, very present. He's at every event. And I have to tell a quick little story that because of Pawtographs, Tim has done many events in Michigan for Northern Michigan Animal Rescue. And they are amazing people. They help so many animals. And this past year, my son got a little puppy after I told him, no, we have a house full of dogs and people, no more puppies. Well, he came home with this teeny little white pit bull who kind of looks like Murray in a way, but he was the cutest little thing. And of course, I couldn't say no. And I fell madly in love with him. Well, by the time he was about 2 months old, he was still, I mean, he probably should have been with mama. He got parvo and was very sick. And I posted about it. And I was contacted by Northern Michigan Animal Rescue and said, Deb, get the help that you need for him. We're going to save this baby. So we did. It's very expensive to take a puppy to an animal hospital when they have parvo. So in the middle of the night, they were contacting me saying, go, just go. I'm going to send you the money. We went through an awful lot, but we saved him. Tim is the godfather. He won my heart. He was so sweet that he even sent a few gifts for Blaze. And Blaze is now 10 months old and just full of life and love and kisses. And he knows a lot about his Uncle Tim, his godfather, and he knows a lot about Murray. We talk about Murray daily. So this is one life. You know, I think about that so often now. One life that was saved because of Tim. How many others? Hundreds, thousands, possibly millions. I mean, we don't know. He's done so many. And yeah.
I know, like with the money that we donated to our local pit bull rescue from the Hinsdale House ones firsthand, because I actually got to go deliver them the cash, you know, or the check. And I immediately saw that 2 dogs from a disaster down in the South were getting brought up here with that money. A puppy mill that got shut down. All those 13 dogs got rescued. And also it helped pay for a surgery and save another puppy that was rescued. Like, just unbelievable. Like the amount of assistance that provided, and that wasn't even it. I mean, there was still money left over, but I saw firsthand what the funds were going to right away. And it's amazing.
That is amazing.
I really wish I could have made that event. I think I had either a party or I had another obligation already that day.
If I have anything to say about it, there'll be another one. So
awesome. Let me know, because I will definitely be there.
I think when we're in Ann Arbor together, Dan, we got all.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And to the audience, I'm going to ask you guys, get on here, share this out, because not only is Tim's event, but the shelters that are out there that need the help right now are so important. I raised and showed purebred Great Danes for years, but I also have rescues. I've got a rescue German Shepherd that was caged for the first 6 months of her life and fed God knows what to keep her under control. So getting her set. So Tim, you doing this is amazing, and you folks all going out there and helping with the event. But God bless you all. I mean, folks get pets and they don't realize that the responsibility for that life is there. And, even the Humane Society folks I work with up here, it's just, I don't know how they do their job going in those houses and shutting those mills down. It's crazy. And especially those breeds, the pits and the Mastiff breeds that they're used for fighting and stuff like that. They get put into the shelters because they shut those things down. I mean,
right.
So God bless you all.
When Deb was talking about Blaze, I shouldn't have been caught by surprise, but I was. It was when Murray passed, I kept all of his toys because I couldn't imagine getting rid of any of them. Mm-hmm. And when I knew that Blaze was going to be okay, I grabbed 2 of Murray's toys and I sent them to Blaze because I felt like it was important for him to have something of Murray's. And then I got pictures of Blaze.
That's awesome.
And it was it's good to know that you were able to do something, but we got to give credit to Rosemary and Boots. They were the ones that decided that the money we had donated should go to Deb and save that puppy. And
what a happy story with that the ending.
I just want to add as well that, we talk about all the animals and the animal lives that have been saved and bettered through your efforts. But I think the other side of this too is exactly what you went through. How many people have been saved? Turn the tables. How many people have also been? Oh, she's so cute. She's so not that little anymore.
I don't want
really, just to think somebody who
they can change the demeanor of a person. They can change the
outlook
of somebody's life.
Exactly.
That's how important they are to certain, depending on what people are going through, depression, all different types of. I mean, the dog that we just got was for my son, and my God, it's helped him so much with just being able to care for an animal and love an animal and have something that loves you wholeheartedly, no matter what you go through or what type of day you're having. He's always there to lick your face and love you, and that's the difference an animal can make in your life. And
that's the difference with animals too. It's unconditional love. Humans aren't all privy to that. Before I came to the States 25 years ago, for 8 years I lived in the Netherlands in Amsterdam, and I was there for maybe a year or two, and I came to meet a couple of people who worked for the animal ambulance of Amsterdam, which is called Dierenambulance in Dutch. And this organization had purchased 3 ambulances, registered with the city, all volunteers. They had bunk beds so that there was always someone there if there was an emergency. And Amsterdam has the biggest amount of stray cats and dogs of most European cities. It's just unbelievable. So, and also a very, very large old people's community. So so basically what they did was they did something that was very much what needed fulfilling, and that was for people, not just in emergencies, but for older people who are living on their own. We could come and pick up their animals, take them to the vet, get them treated, and then bring them back, and then drop them back off. And it was purely donations. And I did that with them for just under 5 of the 8 years that I lived there. And it was just 5 of the best years of my life, because you would meet, you make it a difference because you're maybe with someone while for the last minutes of their world coming to an end. Maybe they are they're often a husband or wife has passed, and just being there and making a difference, that was amazing to me. So I just wanted
What a great idea
awesome.
that is.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a bum, but I have to get going.
Yeah, I figured.
Dan,
So, can you tell us quick, Dan, what are you doing at the event? What can people look for with you at this event?
Well, I mean, I can talk about Hinsdale House. I can talk about Deathwalker, which I'm production manager for. I can talk about the Ghost Finders. I can talk about things that have happened in my life, things that have happened in your life. I love listening to people's stories, and look forward to meeting new people and meeting up with the old friends as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you all very soon.
Can't wait to see you.
I'll see you next Thursday, bud.
It's going to be a
All right,
party.
we'll see you soon.
Thanks,
Good.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Bye, brother.
You had mentioned earlier about the people that Pawtographs helps, and I wanted to share 2 real quick stories if I could.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to be quick. We have a half hour still.
I did an event last year in Illinois, last February, for Rob and Terry, and did my presentation. And I never really notice who's in the audience because I don't really make a lot of eye contact because secret's out. I'm not real fond of public speaking. I get through it because it's important. But I told my story and I got done. And between the next speaker, a mother and a daughter came up to my table, and the daughter was fairly young. And the mom looked at me and she just said, "My daughter wants to tell you something." And the daughter looked at me and she said, "My cat Phoebe is my Murray." And that broke my heart that a little girl would have to think like that. But it makes you understand that your words mean something. Fast forward to last September when I did an event in Missouri. I did my presentation and it was brand new for everybody because I'd never done a presentation in Missouri. And afterwards, there were a line of people that wanted to hug me. And I will never get sick of that. I'll never get sick of that response. And I made it through the line and I came to a teenage girl who, if I had to guess, was 14, 15, somewhere in that area. And she was sobbing. And I just went up to her and I grabbed her and like held on to her like I'd known her forever. And we went outside and we talked. And she's like, I knew there was a reason I was supposed to be here. And just hearing the story, and one of the things I say all the time is, like, you look at my life from the outside and there's nothing for me to be depressed about. But when I share my story and what I go through to this day, I think it gives those folks hope that, hey, look at this guy. He's got what, by all rights, you look at me from the outside and you think, boy, he's got a lot going for him. But I still struggle. But if I can struggle and push through and fight every day, then so can everybody else. And I did a radio show for like 10 years, and I ended the show every time with, "Tomorrow can't be better if you're not here." And
I like that.
one of those things where you just want to be there for everybody. I was naive when I started telling my story. I didn't know that it was going to touch people the way it does. I honestly didn't know. And when I started to realize the impact I could have on people with my words, you know, I always say it's Murray's story because it is. I'm just the human that gets to tell it. And it's his legacy. I get uncomfortable when I get too much credit for this stuff. Because as I tell the story, none of this happens unless he walks into that room. So this is his story. To this day, the story still isn't over. It's all Murray's story. And, you know, I still live every day of my life for him. And that's the way we're going to continue to do it. And a lot of people have great things to say about me. And I'm going to bring a bit of levity to the show here so we can laugh a little bit. I'm still the guy that 10 minutes before the show was suffering from diarrhea and not knowing if I would make the show.
Well, we weren't going to go there, but bombs away, literally.
The point of me saying that, and the point of me telling people that, is I'm not special. I don't see myself. I don't see myself as special. I honestly look in the mirror and I see myself as the guy that is lucky enough to tell my story. And if I'm being honest, part of depression is wanting to make everybody else happy and wanting to make everybody else laugh. So I do that at my own expense. So now if you leave this show and the only thing you remember is Tim was suffering from flu-like symptoms, that's fine. I hope you'll remember Murray. I hope you'll remember that Rob and Deb and Dan will all be at Pawtograph's Parafest 4. And we're going to have a great time. And I got to tell you, I get so stressed out before these events, but my God, am I looking forward to this. Just to be with my people again, my friends, and see them, because I haven't seen a lot of these folks in like 6 months. And that means a lot to me. So yeah, I think everybody's saying these wonderful things about me, but at the end of the day, I'm just the guy that sits in his shorts watching football all day, if I can. And I don't see myself as special. I will tell you who is special, and that's the little guy, Murray. You'd be hard pressed to get me to admit that anything in this world is better than him.
I wish I could have met him.
Deb got to meet him.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely wonderful. When I met Murray, he came right up, gave me a kiss. Of course, I asked for it. You know, I leaned down and you could just feel the love. And, you know, Rob was talking about the animals with this unconditional love. That was Murray. I mean, you could feel it everywhere. And it wasn't only for Tim. He adores, sorry, Murray, his daddy. He adores his daddy. But he loves everybody as long as they're good people. He really does.
Yeah, he was, or he is. Sorry, Mur. He had every right in the world not to like people. He did because of the way that he was treated early on. But he didn't meet anybody he didn't love, and that was the biggest part. And the events that I took him to, I had no problem playing second fiddle to Murray, and I think Deb will agree. He knew we were all there for him.
Oh, he did.
He was a ham. Not only, you know, in his demeanor, but also in his body type, because he and I really enjoyed double cheeseburgers. So by the time Murray got pretty old, he had packed on some pounds, but he was a happy dog. I love him dearly, and yeah, there were. I thank God every day for those 13 years.
So, question: Why do I keep seeing this little rubber bouncing ball?
His favorite toy was a football, and I have that up next to his urn. He also, it wasn't so much a ball. It was just kind of a squeaky toy that he found in the yard one day. And I'd still like to know who did that. But he came back in from going to the bathroom with this toy in his mouth, and it was his favorite toy from that day forward. He was still proud that he had found his own toy. But I'm not so sure about any rubber squeaky balls.
I can hear it bouncing. It's like one of those small ones. Like you would throw to play catch, but it's just like a rubber.
Yeah, I don't know if that's him because if I'm being honest, he didn't understand the game of fetch for all 13 years of his life. He would bring me a ball and I would throw it and he would look at me like, "Why did you do that?" Like,
which one of your dogs now plays or has a ball like that?
None.
Anybody else? Anyone else?
Well, I can say I've had several dogs that have had balls like that.
Thank you.
That didn't sound right, but, but yes, they have great balls. But Blaze loves
weird flex there, Deb. Weird flex.
Blaze loves a tennis ball. So maybe it's not really rubber, but it bounces, and he loves it when you bounce it.
It's got no.
Maury's
That's
got
definitely
a
passed.
5-pound rubber
No.
wrecking ball.
No, no, it's the small. So it's got to be one of your dogs or a bunch of your dogs that have passed then that are coming forward because I can hear it. I can hear it on the floor. It's bouncing. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, that would probably be my babies. But they're all my babies. Even when I talk about Murray, if Tim's not there to take credit, I talk about Murray like he's, my baby. So they're all my babies. Yeah. He'll steal your heart.
That's my mom right there. And I
love your mom.
I have to give credit because the entire time after my divorce, I would never leave anybody with anybody, and I would never leave Murray with anybody that I didn't trust. And I thought Pawtographs was going to be done at that point. And Mom said, let me know what weekends you need to go and bring Murray over and I'll watch him. Aww. And he loved his weekends with Grandma. He really did. Aww. And I was actually at Little Traverse Bay Parafest for the last event before Murray passed. And Mom doesn't like to give me bad news. And by that point, Murray was moving pretty slow. And he would do a lot of laying around, couldn't stand very well. And I just didn't want to let him go. And I got back to her house on that Sunday, and Murray got up and was running circles around me. He was so excited to see me. And then he passed away the next day. It was like he waited for me to come home. Mm-hmm. Sure. But he loved going to Grandma's. Grandma spoils my dogs. Ray and Daisy just love going over there because they know they're going to get a full breakfast. We're talking eggs, toast, bacon.
Wow. I'm coming over. Can I go over for breakfast?
Yeah, I do. But no. I need to like say that because there's about 10 weekends out of the year that my mom gives up her weekends so that I can go do this. And
yay, Mom.
And then we have one weekend a year where we're close enough that Mom can come to the event. And those are the events that I try to make special for her and make her understand that she's pretty important to all of this. Because without her, I wouldn't be able to do it. Because I'm not saying anything bad about people that board their dogs. It's not something I can do. I have to know who has my dogs. And so knowing that they're with Grandma and Grandpa makes it a lot easier.
So tell me who Ebony is. Who's Ebony and why does she love playing? I love
that's my mom's crazy mutt. She's
I feel like that's the connection.
Yeah, she is a lot to handle a lot of times. But she's a sweetheart. She really is. She's got a lot of energy. I scared the crap out of her one time because she was getting out of control and I grabbed her and I held her upside down and she kind of froze. now she leaves him alone. But Yeah, my mom's got 2 dogs and 6 cats, so she loves her animals. I got my love of animals from my mother. That's what she gave me, and that's what I got from her. And all the nice things that people say about me are because of that lady. So, she deserves all the credit. But yeah.
Julie, does he have a birthday coming up or something? Is that why he's buttering you up?
No. He's being honest. He really
I
is.
know. I'm
His
just
mom
teasing.
Let's
You
not
can
make
feel
me
it.
older than I have to be.
She's amazing.
During COVID, when everybody was doing the drive-bys and honking their horns for birthday, yeah, I reminded people that my birthday was May 27th, and nobody drove past my house.
Oh, they did.
But May 27th is my birthday.
Well, May 27th is my daughter's birthday too.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
And it's 7 days after my birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very good. It's a good month.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of talking, so I'm going to turn it back over to Rob and Deb, so they're not just staring at me.
Rob, tell us, what are you doing at this event then? Where can people find you? What are you offering? What are you going to be?
So I'm going to be doing gallery. I believe 4:00. And I'm also there for and all the way through. Going to be doing private readings and meet and greets at the booth. So yeah, looking forward to a lot. Actually, one of the things that I enjoy most, especially at a charity event like this, is just really about the people that you meet, because there's such an overwhelming amount of positive energy. It's almost intoxicating. And I remember, I can't think of a single event that I've been to where that hasn't really been the case. And that's just sort of almost like a drug, It's just that you want more and more and more of it. And it's also very conducive to, to spirit, to laying the foundations for spirit to come through, because it acts as a giant positive, high vibrational energy conduit, if you will. Yes. So, the best work that I've done as a medium, I've done at these events, and it's just because of the intention is just, and the vibrational energy is just so high, and it's about the cause and not the ego.
That's awesome! Yay!
So I'll be doing private booking readings as well. Throughout that, have a little merch and meeting lots of shiny, happy people, and I'm really excited to meet some of these people for the first time as well.
Very cool. Thank you, Miss Deb. What will you be doing there?
I will be doing the same thing that Rob is doing and that you are doing, Kristie. I'll be doing a gallery, but mine is at 11 a.m. Thanks, Tim. I'm not a morning person, but Deb goes first. But I will be mostly there loving on people and having a great time. I'll do some private readings. I'll have a table. We have a metaphysical store, so I'll have a few of our items there. But mostly just, it's all about the love, about, the gathering and talking to people and seeing Tim, my buddy. Yeah.
We're also doing, I can't remember off the top of my head what time, but we're going to the Humane Society of Huron Valley on Friday to visit them. So anybody that's in town early enough, please come out and hang out with us and go to the shelter and love on some dogs. And I get a lot of grief because I never really give the cats any credit, but I'm a dog guy. But we're gonna love on the dogs, and like we did last time I was there, we're gonna share a lot of photos of these dogs and hopefully get a lot of them some homes.
Isn't it like 9 a.m. or something like that?
No, would never do that to myself.
Because I had that stuck in my head. And that's why I'm leaving late Thursday night to get there for Friday.
Yeah, it's I think it's at like 11 or noon. It's
thank God. Okay.
But
so we can sleep a little bit.
Deb
Okay,
had mentioned that she's at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Guess who's at 10 o'clock on Saturday?
Good.
Yeah.
Who's the man?
But you did the schedule.
I looked at the lineup and I was like, let's get Todd and I out of the way. So we're gonna go at 10 o'clock, and then we're gonna turn it over to everybody else and let the spotlight shine on them. So.
And what a fantastic lineup! I mean, seriously, this is an amazing event. There's so many awesome people there.
Yes.
John Zappa's first time, Murray's goddaddy, first time being there. I'm so excited. I love this guy. He's a grumpy old man, but he's wonderful, and he's wonderful to listen to. And he's also one of the nicest people as far as being in the paranormal. Like Tim said, he called him up. He answers his phone. And if you have a problem, I'll tell you what, he is great at helping out.
Oh,
he really is
wonderful. Well, I was so excited to meet him when we went to Michigan a couple of years ago for the Paracon. I was shaking.
Fangirl. Oh my.
Did you follow
because
him
I
to the
remember
bathroom
watching
too?
him. What's that?
Did you follow him to the bathroom?
No,
She did drive-bys of his
table,
food,
okay.
Didn't get anywhere near his table, just kept doing drive-bys. Finally, Mr. Shaw had to, do the introductions,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Actually, you're in those pictures too, Michael. You were in those pictures too with John.
Well, I drove. Of course I was there.
I was at Michigan Paracon last year, and I was walking by John, and he was talking to somebody, so I wasn't about to bother him. And I hear, and John's got a very distinctive voice, so I heard, "Hey, buddy," and I turned around. He's like, "Come take a damn picture." when John Zaffis tells you to come take a damn picture, you come take a damn picture.
Exactly. That's awesome.
He does have a lot of those little cursed items floating around. So you don't want to.
One guy you don't want to make mad.
No.
Find one of the crazy dolls in the back of your car or something.
Every one of those folks on that poster has a special place in my heart because they're giving their time for this event. We're all getting together for Murray. We're getting together to help the animals. Richard Estep, Shatan, Bill Konkoleski, Kristie, they're all first timers, along with Rob. And this is Dan's actual first event other than being at the Hinsdale house. So he's never really experienced a full Pawtographs event either. So
cool.
It'd be a lot of fun. And I hope people leave that event feeling like they did something special.
I already do. And I will too. I will be doing a gallery, and I will also be doing private readings. So I'm looking forward to that. Because like Rob said, it is certain events, the energy is just different. It's just the whole environment is that. It's one nucleus. You know what I mean? You said it so well, and the energy just flows that way because everyone's there for this cause and this reason, this purpose, and they're coming with their vibrations already singing high, and it makes it so much easier. It's just awesome, because everybody is happy and smiling and just the emotions there. Although it can also send you into overload, so you got to be careful. But
I think by the end of the day, I'll either be really happy or I'll be crying naked in my shower. One of the I'll be speaking at 10 a.m. and then I'll be biting my fingernails the rest of the day. But in all seriousness, if we raise some money for the animals and I give about 300 hugs next weekend, that'll be a good weekend for me. And just being around people and getting to share, and that hour I get to talk. I talk a little bit about the paranormal. I talk a lot about Murray. Todd speaks with me. We tell the story about how he was afraid of a bear and he left me to die. all that good stuff.
I gotta meet this guy.
I have
do
a
that to
similar
people
story.
too.
But he's
Nobody likes to leave me in the woods and take off. I'm just saying.
Leave you to Bigfoot.
But at the end of the day, I just like I said, I hope people leave that event and they feel like they've been a part of something special and it means something to them because if I'm being honest, it means the absolute world to me. So yeah, I promised I was going to let Rob and Deb talk, and then I won't shut up. So
I could listen to you talk all night. Man, I just be like I'm already into my second box of Kleenex, and I got to tell you, it's such an incredible story that I just had this idea. How I just feel like you should make an audio book out of this wonderful story, and the proceeds towards this fantastic cause. This is fantastic charity.
Funny you should say that, because I've been working on this Murray book, and it's a book being told by me, and then April Rohn is voicing Murray. She's a fantastic medium, and she's actually telling Murray's side of the story. And that book will be available whenever I can stop crying long enough to write the whole thing.
Awesome.
It is impossible for me to get through more than a few paragraphs and just not lose it. But it's going to be a special book. I've also been pitching around the idea of me working with an animal communicator and solving paranormal cases. If there's anybody out there would like to put this ugly mug on the television screen. But yeah, any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Exposure for Pawtographs, I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
It's not so much, like I said, about me. It's about him.
Yeah.
And whenever I say him, I always capitalize it, because to me, Murray is much more than a dog, and he's much more than anything that I've ever encountered in my life. That's how special he is to me.
That's amazing.
There is a question from the audience. Will there be another event is it Ripon this year?
There is. We will be announcing that soon. The headliners for Ripon this year, September 16th, that's a Wisconsin event. The headliners this year will be Shane Pittman. He's coming back. And Mr. Tim Shaw is making his first appearance in Wisconsin.
Love Tim.
Those are the headliners. And we always have a great time at that event. Afterwards, we all bowl. Most of us bowl poorly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sounds like Parafest up here.
It's Wisconsin, so if there's one thing that we're really good at in Wisconsin, it's beer. So there's a lot of that flowing.
I thought it was cheese.
I will say this. I went to Canada one time for an event, and I ordered milk. And the person I was with actually took it away from me and said, "You don't want to drink that. Like, you were used to like the best, because Wisconsin is the dairy state." They were like, "You don't want any part of that milk. They don't have the same laws up here."
Wow.
And I was like, "Thank you for saving me." But yeah, we're good at our cheese. We're good at our brats. We're good at our dairy products, and most. It's cold here most of the time, so there's not a whole lot else to do here other than sit in the bar.
Ice fish.
Yeah. Actually, this season's been horrible because we've been uncomfortably warm. So there's not a lot of ice on the lakes here. But I will say this, starting tonight, we're about to get 2 feet of snow.
I saw that.
So yay, Wisconsin. I went to the doctor to get a follow-up on my foot. Which is another story in itself. At the doctor, I convinced the nurse to wrap my foot tighter so that I could fit it in a shoe for when I have to do the snow blowing. Because otherwise, I'm out there with a bare foot.
Not good.
Yeah,
not good. Tim, can I say something real quick?
You
I
can.
want people to know Pawtograph's Parafest 4 doesn't mean he's only done 4 of these.
No.
The Pawtograph's Parafest is in Michigan. So this is, it's actually his 5th one in Michigan, but we didn't count didn't number the first one.
Actually, there's a lot more than 5 because I did a few at Terrace Inn too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know there's been many of these done. It's not only number 4, but it's this type of event. And they used to be held the first 3 or 4 after Little Traverse Bay was in Houghton Lake.
Yeah.
Where we had the
UFO
con.
We did Pawtograph's Parafest 2 the spring after Murray passed. And I led off the event, and I basically did a 1-hour eulogy to him. And just talked about him. I didn't talk about anything paranormal. I just told stories about him and why he was so important and why we were there. Yeah. So, I mean, you come to one of these events, and I guarantee you, if you have any feelings at all, you're going to cry.
Yeah.
We've done so many of these. I think we started doing them in 2015, the exclusive events. So this is our 8th year of that. April 18th will be the 10-year anniversary of Pawtographs for Pooches being a thing.
Wow.
Unfortunately, most of the money we've raised happened after Murray passed. It really took off after that. I wish he could have been there for like the bulk of it. When I would come home from events, though, I would always tell him how we did, because in my heart, I knew it mattered to him. And I would always tell him how we did. And he was, I was so proud, just to see him happy. And that's, I've often said the greatest thing I've ever done in my life is be Murray's dad. And I've been on a few shows where they've introduced me as Murray's dad, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's
very cool.
That's my dude.
That.
My hay fever is acting up again.
Yeah.
John, misty eyes, and I've been here 25 minutes.
Wow. Wow. Well, I think that's a really good way. Yes, please.
Thank you
please.
so
This
much.
is such a wonderful cause. Yeah, you do not have to be anywhere near the event, although if you can make the trip, go. It's going to be a party, clearly.
It's a blast. It really is. People will love it. We always have a wonderful time.
Yeah,
Really
but if you
looking forward to it.
can't, please, donate. There's a link right there. Mike's putting the link up.
Yeah.
Anything you can, even $5, just something.
And Rob and Deb, where can folks find you if they want to find a little bit more information about you? And we got you guys got some awesome folks going. So if they want to get some more information, we've got the poster up here with the great headliners that Tim's got assembled, and my monsters just went outside, so I apologize for them. But
These are our mascots.
yes, they are. The animals are moving in the woods behind me right now, so they're out there running. So where can we find you both, just so folks can kind of take a look? We had Tim on before, and that link to that past episode, and we get going here, and I'm gonna mute for a second.
I'll yeah, I mean, you can find me on social media and at Rob Thompson Spirit Medium. I do remote Zoom readings. That's calendly.com/Rob Thompson Spirit Medium. And more than anything else, come and visit me at this fantastic event, and let's knock this thing right out of the park in the biggest possible way, and in the biggest tip of the hat to Murray and the legacy that he lives on in.
Amen. And I can be found my books are on Amazon. Mystical Awakenings. If you type in Mystical Awakenings Radio, we're broadcast. You can find us on YouTube, KGRA Radio. Every Thursday night, we're on at 8:00. Every Friday night, I have a brand new show called Voices of Contact. And that's a pretty interesting one, very UFO based, of course. That is Friday night at 8:00. And Facebook, Deb Johnson DeRoos. Spelling is on here. So I'm pretty easy to find.
So was that Reese's peanut butter cup or Reese's Pieces you were getting? Because
no,
I knew it, and I was waiting to try to get that little hook in there.
It has to be a peanut butter cup.
Okay.
PCs are like, yeah.
I know, but that whole
Yeah,
eating
no.
thing, say that, or is that going to be
He got me.
something these days,
Yeah, did you have one of those Valentine's Day ones? They're like this big, the heart ones. Okay.
No, I've never had one of those.
It comes with like a vial of insulin, I say that because Heather had and how weird is this? In a pack of 2, and they're like the size of a shield, of a Viking shield. I mean, it's just like who can eat that?
I know. Well, I could.
I
totally could.
I might be able to. Yeah, I could try.
Brought to you by her.
Unfortunately.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been wonderful. The time as always flew, but time always flies when you're having fun, right? So thank you so much for joining us. You guys, I cannot wait to see all of you in a week or two. And just, it's going to be so great. This is going to be an amazing event. And this is just, we're going to bring all the love, all the healing, all of the support, and just all the energy to just really make this we're going to make your vision come true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Save those babies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love, pass it on.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us, and everybody out there, thank you for joining us as well. And if anyone wants to wait in the back and chat afterwards, please feel free, hang out. If not, we totally understand. But we hope you all have a wonderful night. Michael, is there anything else?
Thank you all, and I appreciate it. And guys, girls, everybody, not to be inclusive of everybody these days. Please go share this. Get the word out. Help these folks out. Help Tim. Help Murray. Let's get the word out and help some wonderful animals. I mean, let's do that. And you guys know my pets, my dogs, my parrots, my fish. They're always my thing. As we can hear beat in the background now. Right on cue. Let's get it out there. Let's get the word out. Let's get it spread. And like I said, if it's not here and you had missed some of the show, go on back. And we've got Tim's original interview over on Spreaker and Spotify. So, and iTunes. So go take a look to listen to those. So thank you all.
Yeah. All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Until next time, stay safe.
And sample on.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. All right. Right. Okay, I'm gonna pull everybody. Yeah, I'm hitting the wrong buttons like usual. It's my thing,